Hey guys, I don't know who all's up, but I'm up right now. So I'm gonna start with the reincarnation talk. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn this music down. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I had to make a little note. Okay, so I am back. I know I've been gone for a minute. I had to get my shit together, okay? But I'm back to talk about reincarnation. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. It's been a little minute, but we back with the lives, okay? So we're gonna be talking about reincarnation. We're gonna talk about body swapping as well, and basically everything in between that falls in that category of just being new and bring more than, I'm glad you're back. Oh, thank you. It's good to be back. Listen, I had to get my shit together, okay? On all levels, okay? So I had to take a step back for a minute, but we here. Okay. So let's get into this reincarnation talk, okay? So when it comes to reincarnation, the one thing that always helped me was looking at my bloodline itself and my ancestors. So I'm sorry, my eyes are like right now, but I'm in tune. So with reincarnation, you have to understand that a lot of our energies are in our Akashic records. So if you're ever wondering, like spiritually, what energies you should be connecting to, you should definitely look at your Akashic records as well. And what a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of Black people have a lot of white in them. And yeah, we're going to address that. The first things first, we're going to address that. Because I know it's a lot of Black people that hate white people. And you already know me, like, we've transcended that paradigm, okay, when it comes to blaming anyone else but yourself for your problems. We've already let that go. So when it comes to like racism itself, and when it comes to, Black people hating white people hating Black people, I'm gonna say this. So you know how slavery was a thing, okay? A lot of slaves were thinking every day, every second of every day, I wish I was white, I wish I was white, I wish I was white. And they kept saying this, I wish I was white, I wish I was white, until they passed away and reincarnated into a Caucasian. And a lot of them continued that cycle of Black hate when they got the opportunity to be a white person. It sucks, but when you're not connected spiritually, you don't see what the energy is in your bloodline basically until you wake the fuck up. So that's one thing that I really want to stress to people, especially people that Black people that are spiritual, have Caucasian in their bloodline, and still blame white people for their problems. Because the sad part is that yeah, that was you too. It's a tough pill to swallow, and I don't think a lot of people really understand it, especially those that haven't took a deep dive into their Akashic records, or took a deep dive into the energies that is in their bloodline. What you have to understand is that a lot of Black people, that trauma from slavery, a lot of Black people's only wish was to either be free or to be white so they can be free, basically. And when we got the opportunity to reincarnate into these lives that we thought were better, a lot of us just turned on niggas all over again. It just kept cycling, and a lot of black people don't understand that when you have Caucasian in your bloodline, that's a part of you. So it's weird, like when white people used to be black people and they hate black people, but it also makes sense if you really look at slavery and look at the divide and look at the paper bag tests and everything. You get it, like when you look at the world on a grand scale but also through a microscope, you understand so much about the world, and you understand a lot of the energies that a lot of people can't either come to grip with or don't really know how to fit two and two together. Because like I said before, as far as reincarnation, we have the ability to reincarnate into any being, any energy, and a lot of our reincarnations are soul fated. A lot of us plan it, and a lot of us choose to reincarnate into certain bodies, into certain families, into certain energies to either learn, to grow, to teach, or to destroy. We all have free will, and we all have these same gifts. And for a lot of people, especially people that have Caucasian in their bloodline, they can't come to grips that they were once white in a past life. Like, baby, you're just gonna have to let it go. You have to understand that for a lot of them, when they were given the opportunity to be white and to be this Caucasian energy, they just sat on it. They didn't make any moves with it. I'm not saying every white person, obviously, but a lot of them didn't move. Like, they were like, oh, I'm white, I'm good. And then reincarnated back into a black person right after, and was like, oh, white people are the devil, white people are the devil. And then a whole time your internal dialogue is wishing that you were Caucasian. And then once you become Caucasian, you still be that devil. So I feel like a lot of people have to understand, like, when you're looking at your Akashic records, that's you. Okay, from that little drop of Asian, from that big splash of Africa, it's all you. And for many people, they don't really come to understand that we have these abilities to reincarnate into people, to reincarnate into animals, to reincarnate into plants, and our souls can incarnate into any living thing on this earth. And the key word is any living thing. That's the key word. Any living thing, okay? It's not just a person. You don't have to always reincarnate into a person. A lot of people don't reincarnate into people straight away. Sometimes they have to be animals. Sometimes they have to be a tree. Sometimes they have to be these things in order to learn certain lessons that they just couldn't get in a human body, because it's a lot to take on, incarnating into a human body. It does take a lot if you don't understand, like, the power of the race of the sperm, into that egg. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of divine timing, a lot of planning. These are big things, and it's so much easier to just be a fucking tree, it's so we have to take that into account, especially when it comes to reincarnation. And I feel like for many people, especially when it comes to the fae and the fairies, a lot of people don't understand that the energies that is that are surrounding your bloodline are the energies that are within you. You know, that's why I'm like, I just think it's so weird when black people have so much white in their bloodline and they hate white people. I'm like, girl, that's you. You look crazy. Okay. So I'm going to talk about, I think it was body swapping. Hold on, let me look. Okay, yeah, body swapping. Okay, so I'm gonna speak on the Fae, just because like I know a lot about them. I'm gonna speak on my body swapping experience when I was 6. I think I was like 6 years old, because like I literally at the wave pool at I think it was Fantasy Island. At the wave pool, I got sucked underneath the water. So I literally like drowned. Like I always tell people that I literally died. Like I drowned and I saw my, like I felt my soul leave my body. I felt my last breath and everything, and like I floated up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when you don't understand spirituality, it just sounds like a crazy story coming from a kid. You know what I'm saying? It was a very traumatic experience at the time. So my family just chalked it up to like, oh, this is just how my mind came to grips of what was happening. But in reality, as I dive back into that moment and that time and space, because sometimes it's hard, because like I literally felt my last breath, you know. So I don't want to reincarnate. I don't want to project myself into that exact moment, because yeah, you could die. That's not good. So so I as I explore around that memory of the death that I had, I noticed that there was also a rebirth as well. It was, I'm gonna definitely say it was definitely more than one energy that literally took over my 6-year-old body. You know, at that point, when I took my last breath and everything, I literally, like, I was just up in heaven chilling with the angels, okay, chit chatting. Like, time moves so differently out of the physical. It moves so differently, because I swear it felt like I was there for like a week. You know, like not even a week, like at least hours, you know. And it was only maybe a minute on earth, you know. And it's so crazy to think about, and it's kind of weird to explain to people, because like some people just don't get it, you know. But having that experience, like having an experience of death so early on, it really like kick-started everything for me spiritually. So like when I passed away, you know, spirits definitely took over. But I feel like I was, you know, as I was like, you know, up in the higher realms, you know, whatever you want to call it, heaven, whatever. I heard my mom's voice so loud. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I heard my mom's voice so loud. Like when she screamed my name, when she screamed Ashley, because she couldn't find me. It literally, like, it was like she was right in my ear, screaming at me, looking for me. And at that moment, like, I was having like so much fun up there. And at that moment, I sort of like, my soul shocked itself back into like the physical. So, I was like, no, mom, like, I was telling them, I was like, my mom is calling me, like, I have to go back. Like, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Like, it's so weird to think about now. But like, yeah, being 6, I was just like, oh, okay, like maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. But like hearing my mom scream my name like that, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get in fucking trouble. I wasn't supposed to go in the water. Da, da, da. So before I left, I definitely got kissed a couple of times. You know, I got a couple kisses of life, and I was basically escorted back to my body. And like I said, to this day, the guy who literally scooped me up from the bottom of the fucking wave pool, he picked me up like this and just carried me over to my mom. And when my mom went to go thank him, he was nowhere to be found. And she was asking, "Did you see the guy in the glasses and the white guy in the sunglasses?" And everyone was just like, "What?" You know, like, so that's when I was like, when I really think back to that story and I really look back, and I was like, "Oh wow, like this is so much more to it than I ever realized," you know. And that's why I personally feel like, you know, the Fae themselves understand my energy a lot, because I just get it. You know, it's weird to say like, oh, I just get it. I just get it. It's not like that. It's just like, bitch, I fucking died. Like, you know, like, I kind of understand now as I go back into my brain and like really resurface everything that happened to me. Everything makes sense now. I personally feel like I was not supposed to be on this earth, just because of everything that they already knew I was going to have to go through. So I needed the extra assistance, if you understand what I'm saying. Because I had a long fucking life and I'm 26, okay? If you want to know what I've been through, maybe go scroll back on my YouTube page, okay? But I personally feel like, when I came back into my body, I don't think I was the only one that came back into my body, if you understand what I'm saying. Personally, you know, this is what I personally feel. Because it's like, ever since that day, you know, as I look back, like, I was never really the same, you know? And it's like, my family knew, like, everybody sort of knew. But at the same time, you know, I just came back to life, you know, so it was just like one of those things. And I noticed that, my abilities basically kickstarted like a lot, when I at that age. And you know, me dying at 6 and like literally floating back into my body, was an experience in itself, you know. And one thing that I have to say, like, with body swapping, when you understand like your aura and you understand that the world is beyond the physical realm and you understand spirituality, then you know that people can hop in and out of you at any time if you're open enough to it. You know, if you're open enough, people can hop in and out. And the thing is, for body swapping, when it comes to the Fae, we have to understand that, the Fae are not the enemy. They can be if you allow them to be. I feel like I explained that. But the Fae are everywhere and they're everything. They are this. They're this pen. You know what I'm saying? They can be anything they want. They are not limited to a physical form or a physical body like being a human, you know? And when you understand that, then you can understand the body swapping. You can understand, you know, people saying, like maybe every time you go outside, people say something to remind you, like casually on the street in casual conversation, they'll say something that reminds you of maybe something you got to do today, or remind you. I remember I was thinking to myself, like, back when I was, well, before I was, kickstarting all my spiritual journey, I was just thinking to myself, like, oh, I feel like such a bad mom because I didn't have those things that I wanted for my daughter. And I like kept thinking it over and over and over and over again. And then this random man on the street was just like literally stopped to me. And he was like, hey, you are an excellent mother. And then walked away. And I was just like, thank you. Like, oh, that's exactly what I needed to hear, That's the faith. Okay. So when you understand all your thoughts are cataloged and logged in a spiritual database, you can understand that when you think, they react and they move, and a lot of them don't like humans. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of them don't like humans. So it's like, it's one of those things, like if you want to work with the Fae, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say you have to be a fairy to work with the Fae. You have to basically denounce your humanness, the things that they don't fuck with, basically. I'm going to read your comment. You know how sometimes when we fall asleep and suddenly jump, sometimes I feel like that's a spirit trying to jump in a person's body. Yeah. I honestly think that too. I personally feel like for many people, okay, when we have like things like goosebumps, or we have these like sensations, or like especially feeling cold all of a sudden, it's always like a presence of spiritual energy, and I feel like when we have those alerts, it's either to wake us up to do some protection work, or wake us up to seal our aura, do whatever it is. And we have to listen to our body's signals, because I've had moments where I was in like in the astral, just in a dream state, and then I see somebody, like I see a person, and then my body just wakes me up, like I instantly just wake up. Like I don't even like transform into another person or like into a rock, because I told you I'm usually a rock in the astral realm. Just minding my motherfucking business, okay? And when things like that happen, sometimes it's our spirit team moving us out of spiritual danger that we're not alerted to yet, that we're not conscious is danger until basically until we get there, I feel like for a lot of people, like when we have those connections to spirit, especially in the astral realm, we have to understand that a lot of the Fae and a lot of the Fae, good and bad, are there to, again, guide you towards your light, if that's where you want to go, is towards your light, or guide you towards your dark, if that's what you want to go. But the choice is ultimately, it's always yours, And I feel like when it comes to body swapping, a lot of people don't understand that it happens all the fucking time. Like I said, at the strip club, I done seen spirits hop in, up, down, and around motherfuckers, okay? Like some heavy shit too. But we have to understand, like, our auras are everything. Our spirits are everything, And the thing is, spirits are just going to be around all the time, especially the spirits. What you have to understand is a lot of the angry spirits on this earth aren't the Fae. a lot of them are humans. A lot of them are humans that, oh, thank you for the love. A lot of them are humans that are still attached to this physical realm. And a lot of them don't want to go where they know they're going. Okay? Because they know they're going straight to hell. Okay? And a lot of them are literally clinging on as much as they can into this 3D space. So what they do is they hang out at the bars, they hop in and out and so they get that sensation, because that little bit of feeling is all that really holds them in this realm. And I really want y'all to understand that, like, these spirits, like of people that have passed, these energies want to live. They only want to live. That's it. And if your aura is wide open, ready for them to hop in, baby, they staying. They want to stay. You have to understand, like, spirits want to live. And this realm of reality is what is the realm of creation. Okay? A lot of things pass through this realm to go to the other realms, and we have to understand that for many of these spirits, they want to live, and they will do it by any means fucking necessary sometimes, which is why protecting yourself spiritually is like so big. Sealing your aura should be a daily thing. I'm gonna keep telling y'all that sealing your aura should be a daily thing. Yes, honey, alcohol ain't cause spirits for nothing. And I'm like, it's so clear as day, it's so in your face, but everybody just ignores it. And I'm like, baby, we gotta do better as a collective, okay? We gotta do better. But yeah, the spirits, baby, and I'm speaking for myself too, because I like a little drinky drink sometimes, okay? But yeah, these spirits, oh my gosh, they will travel miles, okay, just to be able to hop into somebody, just to live, just to feel, A lot of them are stuck because, like I said, they know where they're going and it ain't pretty. So they're clinging on to whatever they can in the physical that's going to allow them to live. So body swapping and and being taken control of by other spirits is a very serious thing. Like, it's very real, and I hope people really understand that, especially when you're thinking about engaging with people, especially sexually. Oh Lord, that ain't doing no shadow work, no nothing. Oh God, baby. Not a good mix, okay? I've had a couple personal experiences where I literally, like, as soon as the sex was over, I felt the darkness. Like, as soon as the sex was over, I just felt heavy. And that was that transfer, that transfer of energy, that body swap, At the time, I was just like, I didn't know what the fuck it was, I didn't know. But shit, I know now. Now that I'm like really deep diving and really looking at everything, like, oh God, yeah, I was wild, okay? Because them spirits was swimming, okay? Swimming all around me, okay? So as far as the Fae, because I feel like I have to speak on this a little bit, because a lot of people don't understand the Fae's role in our reality. And like I said, a lot of them don't fucking a lot of them don't like humans to begin with. So, like, fucking with y'all is like nothing to them, you know what I mean? They like really don't care, because the Fae see people as individuals, they see people as their individual selves, but they judge humanity as a whole at the end of the day, It's just like how they have these categories for the Fae, the good Fae and the bad Fae. But in the realm, okay, it's just the Fae. You know, light usually stays with light, dark usually stays with dark, and they always balance each other out, and they always cancel each other out. You know, and for a lot of people who don't really understand the Fae, they just think that they're here to just fuck with people, which is true. I mean, a lot of them, like I said, don't like humans. So that's like, yeah. A lot of them don't like humans, but many of them, like a Morgana Le Fay, or like a super healer. Oh, I forget her name. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name, and I'm so embarrassed because I work with her all the time. They are here to really help you towards your light, you know. But again, the choice is yours. At the end of the day, the choice is always yours. And I feel like for a lot of people, especially in the spiritual world, blaming the Fae for this realm being the way that it is it's like it's kind of stupid, because the realm will always be what it is. It will always be light and dark at the same time. It will always be that. So like trying to eliminate all dark Fae off this earth to bring light in is only going to create a whole new level of demon, you know. And I feel like the balance, understanding balance of this earth and of this realm is important, because the bad Fae will always be bad, you know? And it's not even that they try to be bad, it's their energetic nature. It's just their energy. It's the energy they have carried for eons, you know, in multiple realms. And, you know, to come here to shapeshift into people is really nothing to the Fae. You know, a lot of us, we let our senses really fuck with us, you know. Just because you can feel something doesn't mean it's real. Okay? Just because you can see something doesn't mean it's real. Okay? And I think a lot of us have seen enough Hollywood movies, okay, with CGI, okay, to know that, yeah, it's true, you know. But a lot of us don't correlate that to spirituality, which is unfortunate, because a lot of things in our reality are collective illusions. You know, a lot of things that we see as real are an illusion. And if you take away that those double-sided mirrors, or whatever that magic trick is, you see the real. And for a lot of people, they're not ready for that. I know some people are blessed with the ability to see energies and to see people's real faces, you know, which I say is a blessing, because it can be very scary. But to be able to know and be able to navigate that as well, it's a beautiful thing. But again, the Fae are really not the enemy. Again, the Fae, they have roles, they have jobs on this earth, and they are not earthbound, I wouldn't say, but this is where all of their work happens. This is where all of their manifestations happen. So a lot of them are here collectively to get their energy. So they'll shapeshift into your neighbor, they'll shapeshift into let's see, your mom. They're everywhere. Okay. A lot of people are fairies and don't know it. I will say that, because I always know a fairy when I see one. Okay? I always know one when I see one. And a lot of people aren't spiritually awake enough in order to know who they are and to see who they are, you know. And to be connected to this energy, I know a lot of people don't like working with the Fae because they say the Fae never work for them. But it just might not be in your bloodline. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of German I have Scots-Irish. I have Britain in my bloodline. I have a lot of these energies where the Fae dominantly lived. So as far as the Brothers Grimm, that's like a a guide to the Fae for me, you know. And it's not really like I feel like learning about them, it can benefit you in so many ways, especially when you're going towards the lights. Okay, I highly do not recommend petitioning to the dark fae. Okay, because a lot of them have a lot of energetic requirements for working with them. And if you don't know and you just like Google one real quick and you're like, oh, I want to work with them, and yeah, they will literally eat your fucking soul from the inside out. And yeah, it's a lot to understand, especially when it comes to body swapping in the Fae. But you know, if you're open to learn, baby, I'm gonna be here. I'm studying and I'm downloading, so there will be more Fae education, both good and bad, because I feel like it's important to know the different levels of the fae themselves, you know, because it's never black and white with fairies. It's always gray. It will always be gray, you know. And I feel like that's a beautiful thing, because balance is always needed, because you wouldn't know you're in the light until you see the darkness, and you don't know you're in the dark until you see the light, you know. It is what it is, honestly. And I feel like the more we understand spiritual navigation and understand how to navigate ourselves spiritually, and understand that a lot of these energies on this earth, they're not our friends, but they're not our enemies. You know, the enemy is ultimately you, and the enemy is always the person that decides to make that choice towards the darkness, you know, or towards the light. It is what it is. But you know, I'm I'm basically done with my little rant. My laptop just died, so my music stopped. It's real quiet in here. But I'm going to go. Sorry, somebody's staring at my eyes so hard. I'm going to go and do more education, and I'm going to be back probably tomorrow to just post. And yeah, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I hope y'all like that reincarnation talk. And also to remind you, if you have white in your bloodline, it does not make sense to hate white people, because that's literally you hating yourself. Okay, goodbye.